So this week we took a look at the Project Muse and Oxford academic databases. And as my research focus is on the rise of socialism in America in the 1900s, I looked for books and articles related to that topic. I searched for socialism, socialism in America as my keywords, also intercollegiate socialist society, the ISS, which was the kind of the American version of the Fabian Society at that time, the early 1900s at that time, and pulled one book from the Oxford Academic Database and two from Project Muse. Many books and articles came up in my search. Really cool databases, really cool search engines that they have, and found some great content in there. So, from the Oxford Academic, a book called Progressives, Pluralists, and the Problems of the State Ideologies of Reform in the United States and Britain, 1909 to 1926, caught my eye. Author Mark Steers wrote the chapter I looked at called Socialist Pluralism. I was not able to pull the chapter as it was locked. However, an abstract was provided. And the chapter focused on the nationalist progressives in the early 20th century, describing the similarities between nationalist progressives and the political philosophy of the Fabian Society of Britain. This is a good resource because it talks about the transatlantic movement of socialist pluralism, which is a topic I've not found too often in my research. I think I would go to the Jerry Falwell Library and see if I could come across the book in its entirety, or at least a way to access that chapter. I think that popped up in one of our videos this week on how to kind of get around some of those locked chapters or locked articles. From the Project Muse database, I came across an article on Jack London called Rattling the Bones, Jack London, Socialist Evangelist, written by Carolyn Wilson. Wilson talks about London's life from 1905 to 1908, focusing on the pull of the socialist political philosophy and its effects on his beliefs. This is a valuable resource in that it specifically is about London's political beliefs that many authors neglect to study in great detail. Often they just look at him as kind of that, cool writer that he was, and don't really go into his political beliefs like this article does. Lastly, from Project Muse, I found a book by David Berman called Socialist Mayors in the United States, Governing in an Era of Municipal Reform, 1900 to 1920. And in this book, Berman claims that socialists were outsiders in the political realm, and they tended to stay on the fringe of political society and were considered a minority party, that is. Like many socialists, they desired reform at all levels and were not content with doing things the way they had always been done. So, this book is unique in its content as it looks at socialists at the municipal level, taking into account how they approached politics, elections, and it talked about the disagreements within the party itself. This is a valuable resource because it does offer a state level view of socialism many books and articles don't cover. That's what I found. Project Muse and Oxford Academic. Thanks.